Everybody can swim. Uh, Everybody can swim. One stroke at a time, one swim at a time, 1 meter at a time. Hi, I'm Srihari Nataraj, and you are watching The Bridge. So that takes us back to about 19 years actually. I started swimming in 2003. So my brother used to swim, and my mom used to take me to the pool, and I was quite a mischievous child. So she thought if I just spend some time in the pool, do something in the pool, I might get tired and fall asleep before he finishes for the while time being the wellness training. So that's how it started. And my first tournament was actually at the age of 4. It was I actually don't know when the change happened. I can't pinpoint at a single event and say this is what the change was. You could look at my uh, competition progress at the senior level, and maybe that's where it happened. 2016 was the first time I had any exposure at the senior level. I took part in the senior nationals, where for the very first time in senior nationals, and I won a bronze. And I think that's where that if you had to point at one event, you could say maybe that's where it started. That's when things started getting serious. In India, we didn't really have a lot of tournaments happening, and I didn't know where I could go and race at that point because that's I didn't have the exposure. When I went to the Commonwealth Games or the Asian Games, it was a completely new experience for me because I've never raced around the world, and it's a lot different when you're racing with people who are faster than you, are as fast as you, and it is different. The pools are different. Growing up, I did not have access to a great facility. I didn't have the backstroke ledge for a very long time, so it's something that backstrokers use for starts. And I would go to a meet, and it'd take me 4 5 days just to get adjusted to it. And a lot of times, within 4 5 days, all my events would be done. So I would get adjusted, and I would really understand how to max use the ledge to my advantage only after the meet was done. So for me, I swim 10 times a week, or 9 to 10 times a week. So 6 in the morning, 6:15 in the morning to about 8:39, and then I have breakfast, and then I head to the gym by 10:30, and I usually get in an hour and a half in the gym, and then get back home, have lunch at about 1:30, get a nap for about 2 hours. So I do that. I wake up, and I wake up at about 4, and then I just chill at home, watch some YouTube, watch something on Prime for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I get ready to go to the pool by about 5:30, 5:45, and we swim till about 8:30, 8:45 sometimes. And back home, have dinner, and hit the bed by 10, max 10:30. Pretty much how my life has been for the past 14 years. There is a boost. There is an advantage when you're blessed genetically for swimming, but it does not mean that you cannot swim without having the perfect genetics, things like that. As long as you're doing the work, as long as you're willing to do whatever it takes to make it big, to make it to the level, I think you should be all right. Everybody can swim. Um, Everybody can swim, but it's a lot more than genetics and the physique when it comes to. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying swimming makes you taller. Only tall people can swim well, and a lot of things like that. But I haven't been told anything in specific, or nobody's come up to me and been told like this is how you have to be, or this is what you need to swim well, and things like that. Because it is you can't put it down. How do you say it? Into one category and say only if you fit into this category can you swim well. because somebody with the same physique, with the same height as me, with the same amount of strength, might still not be able to swim the same way I do, or I might not be able to swim the same way they do. It's not just physical. There's also a mental aspect to the sport. Think like I'm 6 feet 4 inches, and I need to be an aggressive or strong swimmer. But there might be somebody else with the same physique who decides to focus a lot more on technique. It's just an example, and it's a completely different approach. Because every day the world is evolving, the sport is evolving around the world. Other countries are finding new ways to get faster, new ways to recover better, new ways to compete stronger. And if we don't try to match them, we're just going to be left behind. Like, we're still maybe 10 years behind the rest of the world, and we're trying to catch up as much as possible. And it's kind of expensive, and that is why pretty much all the swimmers at some point give up. A lot of swimmers give up the sport because they don't see any returns as to how much they're investing into it. And that's where now the federation, and then the SAI, and then organizations like Go Sports are stepping in. Sponsor companies are sponsoring, and the government is getting more involved with cash prizes and incentives. And it is improving, and it needs to get a lot better. But at some point, swimming does get expensive, and to make it big, we'll all require a lot of support from. They have been very, very supportive, and played a huge role in terms of not just funding. They've been taking care of funding whenever required, and but not just funding, but also reaching out and making sure that we know that there is always external support that we can reach to. Yeah, it's quite exciting. It's actually the first time I'm swimming in a home crowd like this. I mean, I've done the nationals before, but this is going to be different. I'm swimming about 4 events and 3 relays, so that's 7 events. So the goal, I mean, it'll be nice. I've done this before. I've hit 7 for 7 in Pune 2019. 7 events, 7 goals. So that'll be something nice to replicate. For the past few years, what I've been doing is I've actually stopped. I mean, there is of course a long-term goal, but I've stopped paying attention to it. For me, I've been trying to break it down into tiny bits, and just focus on what's next first. Live in the moment and enjoy what's going on right now, and not think about what's going to happen next year. So I do have a long-term goal, which is Paris Olympics, and make it, try to medal there and things like that. But for now, I have the Commonwealth Games coming up, and I have the Asian Games, and that's the only 2 meets that I'm focusing. One stroke at a time, one swim at a time, one meet at a time.